Hey guys, my name is Bryce, and today I'll be doing a video about my 2015 Pohatu MOC. I remember having the very first Pohatu set. I was impressed by the claws, I thought like the shoulder pads were interesting, and the inverted build to actually have him sort of kick stones and everything was really appealing to me. Since then it's been continued for one more iteration of it for the 2002 version, and we haven't seen it since, and it's really kind of too bad. It was a really fun function. So in this version, what I wanted to do was bring that back, acknowledge the fact that there should be also like at least a one-sided gear function, and then also in addition to that, just really create the most technical chest build that I possibly could around this, just to sort of challenge myself and also make use of these new CCBS pieces, and to actually show you what's possible. These claws, of course, are the perfect size to grab a skull spider, or two, so of course you could certainly be stepping on one while you're dealing with the others. I like the idea of them being boomerangs, but I think for the purpose of claws as a primary weapon seems more interesting to me. But, you know, certainly an option to remove them and have them as boomerang form. Like so. As for the callbacks that I wanted to do, I just sort of emulated that through a lot of the new CCBS pieces. Whether that reads across or not is up to you guys. What I wanted to do is incorporate the arm spikes on the sides, as seen here. Ball joints on the shoulders have just become, you know, massive shoulder plates. So in terms of the torso build, it is much more dense and bulky than any of my other ones, really, until you're going to see Onua. That'll be a whole other story. The reason why it's so wide and everything and also feels very staunch is primarily just because I noticed with the new character of Pohatu, he feels much more sort of stubborn, and I wanted to sort of emulate the fact that this is a toe of stone and he's kind of this immovable force, even though, of course, speediness is part of his character as well. Speaking of which, I added these only as like a little optional detail. I can clip these off to show the next feature, but essentially they're meant to be like little speed lines, kind of snaking off, almost like flames, kind of Back to the Future style. Those are mainly just for decoration. For the actual function, as you can see, when it comes to Pohatu having to clear the way, hang on to him in a not an awkward way when you're reaching over a camera, and you can just have him actually run with his lower gearbox. So he actually gets pretty good distance when you aim him up to punt something. So this entire gearbox underneath is a little bit revealed in the back, where you can see there's gears revealed here, as well as the front, which I tried to cover up, but there's no real way to make it not a very strange build that would draw a lot of attention to itself. So instead I kind of opted for this in between. All this plating really just tries to cover as much technique as possible, but it is also an asymmetrical build that I did, and I'll show you sort of on the inside. Now this is about to look like a scene from Transformers, but this is what I did to actually build the entire chest piece. So especially in sort of the upper body, that's where it gets really complicated. Of course, this one arm moves as a gear function. Unfortunately, all of that is revealed in the top. I couldn't really accommodate for too much more plating without giving him essentially like a hunchback for what I did with Tahu, but that didn't really suit this character. I wanted to at least give him some part of a neck. Every piece of Technic has some sort of service in this area, and it's only really within the sort of collarbone area, where that is mainly just to keep things in place and also make sure that there's not too many gaps. So needless to say, this is a very technical and very kind of challenging build to do. It's really only this version, which couldn't really derive too much from in terms of content. I'd say overall, though, it all came together quite nicely. The fact I was able to cram both gearboxes in and also give it this very unique torso build is pretty satisfying to me, so I think I'm actually going to stick with this build at least for a little while before I try and make other modifications. The gappiness in here and everything bothers me slightly, but it's all stuff I can live with. So those are my thoughts. Feel free, please, to leave a comment in the comment section below about anything that you'd advise me to, or if you just ended up liking the MOC. It's certainly different from probably the other ones of Pohatu that you've seen. This is kind of my own interpretation of what a few generations all kind of clustered together have looked like. And that's about it for me. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.